Right, what we shall do is take this phrase by phrase and do it that way and work our way through it. So, the first phrase. That 13th fret of the D string, the 4th string, with our first finger, 13th fret, and we hammer on to the 15th fret of the 4th string with our 3rd finger, and then we play the 13th fret of the G string twice. So we got that. Just do a bit of that. Start off like that. Yeah? Then we bend up the 15th fret of the G string up to the 17th fret, which is a full note, a full tone bend. Basically, the note's bent up 2 strings. Yeah? Then we play we put our first finger across at the 13th fret of the B, E and the B string. So you got. You've probably heard that in a lot of rock and roll songs. 15th fret of the 3rd string bent up. Straight across at the 13th fret of the E and the B strings. Twice. So take that phrase a little bit at a time, take it slowly and work your way up to it. So you get your first phrase. Yeah? And just keep getting used to doing that. Then you get your second phrase. Yeah? That's your second phrase. Then that's your third phrase, so we got bent, released, so it's bent up as the whole tone, then it's released, pull off to the 13th fret of the G string, 15th fret of the 4th string, 13th fret of the 3rd string. You got that? Just practice that. Bend up. So you got. You with that? So we got. Then we'll go to the 5th string. And we'll do virtually the same thing. We're going to play the 13th fret of the 5th string, hammer onto the 15th fret of the 5th string, to the 13th fret of the 4th string. So we got this. I'll go from the beginning. Twice, doing that what I said, 13th fret to the 15th fret, and finish on the 13th fret of the 4th string, so we've got that twice. Then we've got the hammer on from the 13th to the 15th, and play the 15th fret of the 4th string with our first finger. So we've got. So we've just shifted position up 2 frets, haven't we? So we've got. Sorry. And that gives us the opportunity to get to the 17th fret of the 3rd string and bend that up 2 frets, and then do the double stop across at the 15th fret of the top E and the B string. And do exactly the same that we did 2 frets lower. So we've got. go up that. Strange. So we got that double stop, we got the bend up and the double stop at the 15th fret of the top E and the B. Then we've got the bend and release down to the 15th fret of the 3rd string, 17th fret of the 4th string. You with that? I'll put the tab, don't forget, when you go through the tab it'll be a lot easier to sort of figure out. I know it's quite awkward to try and follow what I'm saying, but I mean you can always rewind it, can't you? What I'm going to do, I'm also going to make these little videos downloadable. I know you can download them from YouTube, but I'm going to put them on the site in a smaller file so that you'll be able to just download them and put them on your PC and you'll be able to play them there without having to go through YouTube all the time. But anyway, where was I? Oh yeah, so up to the 15th fret. Now we rip down to the 8th fret of the 3rd string and we play that with the first finger of our left hand. First finger on the 8th fret and hammer onto the 9th, and then we'll play the 8th fret of the top E. So we got that. Just get used to doing that. First finger, hammer onto the 2nd finger on the 8th and 9th frets of the 3rd string. First finger onto the 8th fret of the top E. Now that note is the 11th fret with our little finger on the 11th fret of the B string. So we've got, you got that? Down to the 10th fret of the B string, so we're playing hammer on. Is that hammer on? I'd pick those two, 11th and 10th, and hammer on, pull off onto the 8th fret of the B string. So we've got 11, 10, 8 on the B string. So we pick 11, pick 10, pull off to the 8th. Just practice that, get it up to speed. Nothing wrong with doing that over and over again until you get it right. So the bit we want after that is, which is 10th fret of the 3rd string down to the 8th fret of the 3rd string. So 3rd finger, 10th fret of the G string, 1st finger, 8th fret of the G string, hammered back on to the 9th. So we got 10th fret of the D string. That'll all become clear with the tab. 8th fret A string, 5th string, with our first finger. Yeah? So what I've done there, I've played the 8th with the first finger, put the 3rd finger onto the 10th and slid up to the 12th. So we've got so we play 8th, 10th, up to 12th, 10th on the 4th string up to 12th, 10th on the 3rd, so we got, these sound totally different in isolation, but so we got, which takes us to the 10th fret of the G string. So we go from the 10th fret of the G string to the 12th fret of the G string with our 3rd finger and slide that up to the 14th fret of the G string. Then we play the 13th fret of the B string and the 15th fret of the B string, so we got, which is the 13th fret of the E string. It's no pentatonic run. It's quite status quo-y, that one, for want of another word. It's quite, it turns up in a lot of Status Quo songs, that. But that's the one that just changes the phrasing. That fret's 13th fret at the top E, down to the 12th, so we got. So we got 13th fret at the top E, 12th fret at the top E, 15th fret of the B string, so we got. Now I bent that 13th fret up to the 15th fret, down to the 12th fret of the B string. So that little bend there is a 13th, up to the 15th, down to the 12th. That's the 15th fret going up to the 17th, released, and then bent back up again to the 17th. So we got. You'll have to experiment which finger you think's best to do that. I keep alternating because I keep getting blisters. Because I'm not used to doing all this bending, and because my strings are 10s when these probably should be a 9 or an 8, and doing all this kind of bending, I end up with a little seg, a little blister on my third finger. So that's why I swap round and maybe do the second finger sometimes, because it hurts less. So that last bit. Yeah, and you've got the whole solo there. Thank Crunchy. That was quite difficult to go through all that, wasn't it? But it will be easier when you've got the tab in front of you, which you'll find at Focus on Guitar. Right, let's go through the whole shebang slower. Sometimes makes you pull a face when you bend your strings. Sometimes, depending on how much you're bending them. Some guitarists pull right funny faces. Anyway, that'll do. So you've got all the parts there. Take your way nice and slowly through it. Check out focusonguitar.com for the tab. And the tab for the rest of the song is also there. And have fun with it. Bye now.